This is Guitarist Denis Taaffe. I'm in my home studio, and I want to welcome you to the making of Volume 313. Modern Rock Guitar Volume 313. Doesn't yet have a name or an album cover, but the tracks have been recorded. I wanted to kind of go through them with you. And it's 8 tracks, and it's 52 minutes and 33 seconds. And let me tell you, this was all done in one session, the entire album. So I must have been on a roll, I guess, improvising. And pretty good, exciting stuff for me. Now this isn't the final draft, I suppose, because some of those tracks are pretty darn long. We'll see. You know, I have to kind of live with it for a while and hear it and that kind of thing. And here I know I was using a Fender Champion 100, a Fender Deluxe Reverb, and sometimes instead of the Fender Champion 100, the Albion 2x12 combo, solid state combo, and the Deluxe Reverb is a tube amp, and it really affected the way I play. You know, especially I love playing those clean chords, chord voicings, because they kind of pop. You know, they stand out, if you like, because of the Fender Deluxe Reverb. You know, that tube sound. So let's take a listen to this album, and I'm not really that familiar with it. You know, I mean, granted, I played it and so on, but you know, there wasn't anything in mind. I was just inspired for some reason. You know. Alright, well, let's go through it. So here's track 1, and it's very theme-based. Yeah, that's about what I can say about it. And you'll notice right away those chords, those real clean chords, and that's because I was using that Fender Deluxe Reverb. Let's take a listen to that. There we go. Yeah, very interesting sound. Now here, there's quite a few layers. Some of my favorites: the pattern playing, the clean chords, right, the and then of course the hot sauce preset, which I absolutely love. However, I think maybe time to go on to the next hot sauce preset, because I think I've pretty much exhausted this one, and I'm really familiar with it now because I use it all the time. So here we go. And there's a little hot sauce keyboard melody, you know, played on guitar. You know, it's an emulation using that algorithm. Sounds kind of like a vintage synthesizer. Pretty cool. And the chords there are those real clean chords. Okay, let's move on to track 2. Okay. There's some of that definitely pattern playing. And there's several layers of the pattern playing. So trying to sync those together is a real challenge. And there in the background you've got that kind of reverby guitar. And of course in the background you can hear the bass, emulated bass. mostly a track with you know, the delayed guitar, layers of delayed guitar sync together. I love that kind of sound. Cool. Alright, track 3. Okay. Similar. Now this is a different delay and pattern that I'm playing there that I hadn't played before. And then below that you've got the bass. I do remember that I emphasized a lot of the delayed guitar playing because I felt on the last album that I hadn't really done a lot of that, you know, and I wanted to. Okay, and that fits well with the album. This is a real short track, by the way. Okay, let's move on. Here's track 4. And these aren't really in order yet. So I know it sounds similar, but it's actually quite different. This is exactly the way in which I recorded them and played them live. So here. Now for the album, I'll probably move them around, you know. So here there's no bass or anything, right? It's just layers of guitar synced together, delayed guitar. Okay, now we go on to this track, which is 11 minutes. Quite a long track, but I think I really like it. And here you'll hear that deluxe reverb amp. Right? Gives that huge, clean guitar sound. Kind of reminds me of a Pink Floyd, David Gilmour. So there I started looping that. And let's see what I did with it. Let's go to the 4-minute mark. Now I've added some of the pattern playing, some of the emulated bass below it. Cool. Okay, and let's move on to the, I don't know, 7:27 mark. Some solo guitar over the main chords, which don't really change. Okay, now here comes the next one, and the next one is really an intro for track 7. It's actually 4 minutes long, and then track 7 is 12 minutes long. So right now let's hear track 6, which is the intro for track 7. Let's hear that. Now here I've got of course, going through the Fender amps. Right, I have a delay on it, but I also have a tape delay, and it kind of warbles a little bit if you take a listen to the guitar sound. Right, it's an emulation of those old delays that used to use cassette tapes, you know. I would go around And depending on what delays they'd have different heads reading the tape. And of course, there's that Eventide hot sauce, but it seems to work so well for this track. Yeah. So I could definitely see this in a film or TV series type thing. And now let's move on to the next track. Or actually, okay, we'll fast forward here. It probably doesn't change all that much, I'm not sure. Yeah, I didn't think so. Except now you've got, a bass and it's starting to build up a little bit. But that's the main gist of the track, if you like. Okay, now the next one is the main part of it. So I'm assuming, I took that idea and expanded on it, and it's the main track. Let's hear it. Yeah. Okay, now here, obviously, I've got the pattern playing, and we're starting from where the last track stopped, because it was the main theme, and now, go crazy with it and add all kinds of musical ideas that you can. Yeah. So still staying true to the main theme, but adding different guitars. And I really like that guitar right there. Playing. Gives it, as I said before, it gives it some motion, some movement. To me, it makes a track sound more modern, maybe. It's just a cool sound, for me anyway. So there I've got 2 layers. And sometimes, I'll use 3 or 4 layers synced together. I'm using different delay times and those kinds of things, and different patterns. Alright, let's move on to the 4-minute 54 mark. Octave guitar again. Alright, and let's move it on to about 9 minutes 42 seconds. Let's hear that. Okay, now we've got some tracks going in reverse. And I'm trying to push it as much as I can without losing sight of the main theme. Putting as many musical ideas that I think would work well with it, including this backwards guitar and so on. Yeah. Anyway, a very cool track, very long track too, but it fits quite well. Okay, and then there's one more track. And who knows, I might, change it later, but for right now, it's track 8 and it's the 13th track. Let's hear that. Cool. And this is what I wanted for this album, was a lot of the pattern playing, because I felt I hadn't really showcased it, in the previous album, and I really love that stuff, so I put it here. And this is a 13-minute track, so we'll see where it goes. Okay, let's go 4-minute 27 mark. There you're layering, right? 2 different patterns. On top of that, playing those chords. It's very much like multi-track recording, but done on the fly. In other words, responding to what you're hearing, you've got to find a part that fits well right away. And that's the fun of it, but it's also very dangerous, because it's so easy to hit a wrong note or an idea that you thought would work well, and it ends up not working well at all. So here I'm changing different pattern ideas and so on. There's that little melody. Definitely inspired by, old films like the Terminator series, John Carpenter films, Escape from New York, that kind of thing, and plenty of others. Alright, let's go on to 8 minutes 31 seconds. So here, going crazy with layers and layers of ideas. I guess the trick is to not let it get out of control, and always be aware of the main theme as you add ideas and take away some others. Very nice. Alright, 12 minutes, 12 seconds. Let's hear it. Yeah. I basically pushed this track as far as I could. But here I'd hate to guess the amount of layers of delayed guitar. But when they sync together, they really give you that cool sound. It doesn't even sound like a guitar anymore. It sounds almost like a keyboard. And there's that main theme. And this is pretty much, we're nearing the end of the track here. It fades out, and that's it. That is tentatively Modern Rock Guitar Volume 313, which really wrote itself in one session. I mean, I wasn't thinking, okay, I'm going to record Volume 313. It wasn't like that at all. I just started playing and was inspired, and I wanted to play some of those the pattern playing, because I told you from the last album, I don't think I had showcased it very much, and so I really wanted to play some of that. Now, this is tentative, some of those tracks are awfully long, but they really lend themselves to be that long. They're just musical ideas. And creating the mood and atmosphere, Sometimes it's not, about showing off, hey, look at this, I can play real fast, or look at this, I can play these super complex chords and things, that, most people with, if they had 6 fingers, they still couldn't play the chord type stuff. It's not about that. It's about, for me, I always think of it in terms of film music, but also creating moods and atmospheres. And I really love these kinds of atmospheres. And I have to say, an excellent example of that is Tangerine Dream. If you've ever seen the Risky Business film with Tom Cruise in it, and there's Love on a Train, that dun, 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 dun. Well, that's definitely a perfect example of, it's a pretty simple pattern, but creating the mood, the atmosphere, it had different music. It wouldn't have worked as well. So here, this is the kind of thing I'm trying to do as well, improvised. So, coming up with ideas that, this will fit, this should sound good with what's already playing and that kind of thing. To create overall, moods and atmospheres. And that to me is much more satisfying and rewarding, than, going off on a guitar solo or, trying to impress, with the complexity of what you're playing and so on and so on. And the first thing you have to ask yourself, is it musical? And that's why, for me, there's a lot of music that I just, musically I don't quite understand, I mean, but I mean, I have to admit, when I was younger, I was kind of the same way, it was fun, that's for sure, playing solo and so on. But as I got older and, started asking myself, man, does this sound musical to you? Is this something that, you'd want to listen to for a long time? And a lot of times, I couldn't say that. I suppose it's fun to hear, a ripping solo, for 5 minutes, just a kind of stun value, but after that, I mean, oh my God, if you had a whole album of that, can you imagine? It would be terrible. I couldn't take it. So anyway, for me anyway, maybe it's just because I got older, maybe more mature, and musically mature, hopefully. Anyway, this is the music I like and appeals to me, and trying to create those moods and atmospheres, and a lot of times it doesn't entail, super fast solos or tons of distortion and things. I mean, it has a, not that you couldn't do that, but just overall keeping it musical and creating moods and atmospheres. That's where it's at for me anyway. Alright, see you guys next time, and somewhere in this video I'll post the show you the album cover I came up with for it, and see if the track list will remain the same. I might move stuff around, because again, this is just preliminary, and right now the tracks are in the order that I recorded them, which is kind of interesting. But I might move them around, to make the album flow a little better. Depends. But I'll include that in the video as well. Alright, so see you next time. Bye-bye.